But everybody just got my email. I just got a buy signal on the British pound on the 5 minute. If you look real close here, there's a doji right there. Now, granted, that's a 100 pip doji, but it's a good buy signal. So everybody's supposed to put a buy stop above the highest bar on that. So as fate would have it, when you take a market, and my grid wasn't painting into this new low here on the pound, so the grid doesn't plot, it only sees the history. So as soon as we had this 700 pip drop in the British pound, and so it comes down here, and I wasn't able to trade it because the broker spread was so wide that the scripts were written with too tight a spread, so I wasn't able to ride the retrace on that. And if your stops, now mind you, this is 50 pip grid here, so if your stops were, you had to be on the 1 minute chart for this. Now it doesn't mean you could get a fill, because I'm watching 5 brokers when this happened, and one broker went offline, and so their demo account I'm running went offline, so that made it kind of tough. So look at this. This is 20 pip grid here though. So here goes a possible pullback. So I'm long about $200 of margin here with a 50 pip stop. I've got a here was the other big candle entry here. So big pin bar. So things are simmering down here. We could get a little bit of a pullback, but I'm looking for it to drift back up into the top of the where the wheels came off here. So body's dead on at the 50. So I'm down $260. I made about $260 just buying at the market. I had to keep pressing the button though, because they were 1Ks. Now we gotta wait for them to stop me out, and then I put in hand placed orders here with a 50 pip stop. Now normally 50 pip stop is a pretty wide stop, but look at this down. Look at this thing, 700 pip 5 minute wick. Okay, here comes the pullback. So here I'm going to put these, I rewrote the script to buy super wide and super deep here. This is going to buy every 100 pips. So that's my hotkey. I just rewrote the key to fit the ATRs. So the wheels are coming off now. I'm going to start buying a pullback. I'm going to start buying for retest here. Okay, they stopped me out of some of my stuff. So they just stopped me out of my 50 pip stop on a market order there. So I'm going to buy right at this last. Now the other thing is that if you missed my signal service and you didn't get here in here, you had to get to your phone pretty quick. But right there, I would have bought at that doji, so I can buy there again. So I'm just gonna put as many orders as I can in here. So this is a demo. Okay, gotta get that. So this is a 50 pip. I'm just going to run this by the market key, because the spread's 5 pips right now, and here's my this will make it'll make 150 pips to risk. I'm risking 50 to make 150 right now on the market order, and then this is the stop entry that gets in 1 pip above, and it's going to make 75 pips with a 15 pip stop. It's pretty ridiculous, so they could kick me out of that. So now we're waiting for this. Take out the high of the day, I guess you'd call it. Okay. So unless you had a grid sitting out there, which I didn't on this demo, to capture all this stuff, on my other account I actually made money on this whole drama, and it's really not a great broker. It's funny because you know, I got out at the market when it drifted back to here, when it got this doji, I got the fuck out. That's another thing. When you see a doji, it means if you just got in down here and it goes flat, get the fuck out, because it could go, now it could get all squirrely. Okay, I'm gonna buy at the market here. So I do have a couple buys. I'm gonna put one buy stop in for good luck. I'm trying to make 150 pips. So if we can make it back to where the bottom dropped out, which would be the typical scalp exit. So 1Ks, it's costing me about $3 for every 1K I buy. Alrighty, now. Okay, we still got to pull back. Now I'm going to put in this monster grid that buys like with, I mean the stop is down here for God's sakes. Got, I want to be in $1,000 in margin would be the best scenario. Anyways, wait for the top of the hour here. Should be a big deal. Asia's going to open. We could take out the high of yesterday, possibly even the high of the last session. It's pretty crazy at this in this situation. I don't even have a signal. Like I said, unless you picked up your phone and you went to your broker and you got in here and make this easy 100 pips, I can't help you. That's in the subscriber lounge. It's not a war room. It's actually just a. It's like a. Plus you have two. This is your first bearish candle to put a buy stop on the top of that. So we're just going to get it now before it breaks. Targets are preset on this to make. And I'm going to get rid of these stops. So earlier, another thing is don't get trapped in these buy stops you got hanging out here that are lingering. I got some other currency pairs on here, so I had to strip everything out of here because I couldn't trade that many pairs on that limit strategy. But before the we went off the rails here, I don't see my buy stops. There should be buy stops on the top of this thing. But anyways, maybe those are entries. A lot of shit on here. No, it says buy stop up there. Hard to see everything in there, but 50 pip grid on that, believe it or not. Massive wicked move. Air pocket, 700 pip air pocket. So that's the vacuum, that's the void, and there's just nobody, no buyers down there. Nothing, free fall. And these are buy stops. I don't know what the hell, I don't see them on the platform. So get rid of these, because when the market comes smacking back there, you don't want to get tagged on those as it comes ripping back. So my entries are black, my exits are turquoise. So the clean house here. Quite a, there was a, if you traded a breakout trade on that, you made money on the downside, but the problem is that unless you had your target set to 700 pips, you kind of bummed out a little bit there. It's not the trade, it's not the best trade in the world. But here was your doji entry. If you were short before that happened, here was the another signal I sent out was to put sell stops in here. Sell stops there, and a lot of sell stops here. 4 hours of sideways, something's up. And just if it was a normal breakout, but if it was just a normal breakout, your targets were here, you're like, oh wow, I just projected the end of that channel. So the fact is a 31-year low, and now maybe it's I don't know what, maybe it's more than 31 years now. That's the 1 hour chart. Okay, now I'm in at the market on the 5-minute doji. We're long off the top of that candle. We're looking for 150 pips here. Try to make some money back on this account. Just pop up there, and here coming up on the floor of the whole drama. Got to get past the high of the day here, though. First thing is take out the high of the day, or the high of this, the last, not the high of the day, but the high of the obliteration. The pounding of the pounds. So my target's right there. About 120. Some of these I got in 50 pips deep here, so I definitely just traded the market because I don't have a script for this. I don't, this isn't like. Look at this cute little inverted hammer here. So if you bought at the market on that 5-minute thing, boom. So now maybe I get out. Take $180. This broker took a long time to get out of the last trade I was in. So they're trapping the breakout traders of the higher time frame right now. Those stops are getting triggered. There's the 15-minute. And we could just go up 50 more pips and retrace. And yeah, it's like who's breaking out a fib tool during this stuff, right? So this all started right at 7 o'clock, right on the hour. And look at the marching up just before the plunge. We marched up the wall of worry there. And here we're something to worry about. So it was a real roller coaster, ratcheting up, slightly drifting up there. So your sell bot, but your sell bot wouldn't have had the targets set at 700 pips, I don't think. So it's hard to maximize this move today. And this is an example of your take profits are just as brutal as your stop losses. It is just as much punishment. I mean, just as much of a problem not getting that right. I don't know if this account, this guy doesn't. So this one is all. I haven't rewritten any scripts on here, so unfortunately I can't take advantage of this plunge here. These are just so shallow now. I mean, this is written to, so ATR matters. These are super tight. That's 40 pips deep. Just there is no way to really take advantage of the move here. No fill. This account had $2 grand in it, and it wasn't. This one went offline. So look at the 1 minute chart here. You're missing all kinds of data here. So this Talonex went offline. Boom, gone. No show. So big pullback here. $230. They're trapping the. This is a breakout. So if I wait another 5 minutes to make 50 more pips. Now it's really daunting if you trade without stops, like that guy said in the video. Well, you don't trade with stops, right? Okay, a 700 pip smash in the market. You're not trading with stops. You don't want to do that if you've got your life savings in that account. So yeah, if you've got $100 in the account and this happens, and if you have a negative balance with a retail broker, they'll just reset yours to zero. I used to have a broker do that. I was down $230 on Sunday night open. I said, "Can you reset my account?" They're like, "Sure." They're making enough money off the spread and commissions or whatever have you, apparently. Okay, I got some early targets here from something. This must be this is the 75 pip exit when I hit the buy stop key. So that should be coming up on my bar at the market. I'm up 50 pips. So I could get out of that right now and then reload on pullbacks. So there I was up $250 right there. I'm seeing a pullback on the 1 minute chart. So this is the breakout, pullback. If it's a real breakout, it should follow through to the upside. So I just saw my other broker went up. I got a better broker than this one. So I just saw that go. You could arbitrage your ass off today if you had access to all your screens I'm seeing they're bidding this up right now in the other brokers, so I can tell you right now it's going to go up. I can tell you the future. We're going to go up. So I would hold this because I could see, especially on a day like today, this is arbitrage heaven. I'm already at 31. Okay, so now we should get a. If we go to $1.24.50 here, I might see this on my other broker first. So if I put up my one-click trading, see how we're at 32. So I'm going to hang in here, try to make 500 bucks. I don't know. I don't know what it comes out to math-wise. I don't really know what the leverage is in this account. Okay, let's get some follow through here, and then if it goes up another 50 pips, I'll be starting to get out of some of these, and then it'll scale out. And then I'm going to hit this big pullback key here because the ATRs are so big that I'm going to buy every 100 pip plunge tonight on a grid that I can just walk away from. So unless you've got the, so we're going up here, unless you got the script for it, it's ridiculous. So I was trading with scripts that were written for a quiet market just recently on another account, and I was able to make some money, but they were kicking me out. You know, it was like a buzzsaw. You know, the market, when the market moves this viciously, the spread is about 50 pips for a moment. So you got to realize if you've got a 300 pip stop and you bought every 300 pips this drop today, you got stopped out of something, right? So does volatility matter? Kinda. Especially, okay, we're going up here on the other brokers. This broker's slow. So, you know, it's really about this, this ATR is really critical. So this will reset the scales on ATR from now on. And so hopefully nobody was in here without a stop long. And yeah, when the bottom drops out, when we go into new lows, I mean, trading without stops, you know, I get it if your account's small, you know. Okay, so I'm ready to get out of something here. I'll get this 50 more pips. Get to 5 grand. I don't know what this account was when I started. I think it was at 10 grand, I can't remember. I think it was at 10 grand and I wanted to be on $1,000 of margin. So I never got my $1,000 margin kind of risk 10% and real. Of course, I don't know. That's if I got stopped out everything right away. Okay. I'm gonna wait for another 5 minutes. Well, wait for the bottom of the hour. See how far we get. See, this broker just froze. Okay, they just reopened this broker. They were frozen at so many pips there, and so they keep going offline here. So I couldn't even have got out of that trade. Now here we go. We're playing catch up here on this broker, and here we're coming marching down on this first target. So the bottom of the hour is coming. Big freak out. Everybody's freaked out about the price of this thing. Okay, get ready to get out pretty soon here. Okay, so I'm going to get out here because this broker's really slow. Now I'm going to try to get in on pullbacks. I'm going to hand place 50 pip stops in here. I don't see this order coming in. Okay, now I'm going to run these huge grids that I wrote earlier for this, because as soon as this started happening, we're still getting out of winners here. So here's my 50 pip stop. Okay, maybe it's done. Okay, so here come my limits in. Looking for a pullback. Here's a pre-programmed grid on these white orders. So I don't know, do you think we come down there again? Jeez, I don't know. I think that's over. think we're just going to go up now. So this guy is still in it. This is 20 pip grid here. Trying to make it to the round number. And now I get in with buy limits underneath here. Sit here all night on this, see what happens. So those are pretty deep. That's like 100 pips deep, which, I mean, this is 20 pip grid, so it's like 80 pips deep, I think, on these orders. Okay, it looks like the wheels are going to come off a little bit now. This is a fast exiting broker, though. Really quick exit. So these are close to the market. Go back to the demo account here. I'm in something else. I left over trades here from, I was trying to trade all the currency pairs. So I got these losers on here that are buying New Zealand dollar or something. So that's why this is, I'm flat on the British pound, but I'm in some garbage. So if I was just trading this, that was the exit, and now it's going to be hand place some buy limits in there. So I'm down about 5 grand there, and so that 10 grand you loaned me, well, we're just going to have to work something out. That's what I used to open the demo. That's a 5-minute chart. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, well, you know, that was the trade. Signal service, you gotta get a beeper or something. That's what you're gonna need. So you can get to the phone, call that trade in, try to catch a pullback here.